today's topic is how important are government contract conferences. It's interesting because you get mixed reviews from people talking about whether or not the conferences are important, or sometimes they go to a bad event and they get a kind of a sour taste in their mouth about an event that they went to because maybe the promoter misled them in terms of what the event was about and what was going on at the event. Maybe they misled them for the speakers. Maybe the speaker was some sort of consulting company that wanted you to pay money or pay dollars. But I have still found that the number one business development strategy tool that I use for meeting people who I do not know outside of my particular arena, outside of my particular area of focus of business, is by going to conferences and events. By far, they have been my greatest source for connecting with people. I can tell you that, even on my desk as we speak, I've got like tons of business cards that I've collected from events. I've actually spoke in at events recently. And so again, you get the chance to meet people like myself. You get a chance to meet people like at the event that we went to recently, was the Hub Zone Small Business Summit. And I got a chance to meet Guy Timberlake, which again, he was one of my heroes. I've seen him, I've watched him teach government contracting since I started in this business. And, again, I got a chance to meet him at the event. Ashley Bell, the regional administrator for the SBA, was at the event. Michelle Burnett was at the event. She is the executive director of the Hub Zone National Council. And again, you get a chance to meet people who are making decisions or making suggestions for decisions that can or potentially impact your business. And if you plan to be in this particular arena for a long time, right, then you definitely want to get to know the players, the decision makers, the influencers. You want to know them. And the only place that I found consistently to be able to have some time, one-on-one time with those persons, is at a respective event. Now, probably what's happened to most of you, and the same thing's happened to me again, is that I've gone to these really, really bad events, and it just kind of discouraged me. And again, I know what you mean, because my client, my consulting client, he told me, Eric, please don't drag me to another event. And I said, look, we've got to go, because if the Ostabu, if the agency, if they're recommending that this is the way to break in, what alternatives do you have, right? Again, right now, they have what we need. They've got the contracts, and we need the contracts. And thus, any type of suggestions that they offer up, any type of potential opportunities that may exist, we've got to kind of like chase that, right? We have to chase it, and we have to be on the hunt. And I'll tell you this, even someone that I just had a YouTube video about, Alex Hernandez from Hernandez Consulting and Construction. Even though Alex's company is doing $50 million a year, they sponsored the SAMI conference that I was at a few months ago back in Miami. And that's where I ran across Alex Hernandez. He was the main sponsor. His company was the main sponsor for the event. They got up and spoke about their organization and what they did. How do you get to $50 million a year in revenues? You participate, you're at the events, you play in the golf tournaments, you do the things that the people who you want to be like, that you're emulating, do. You go to where they're at. And some of the slideshow that was just on, I'm sure you saw some of the people with pictures with me. Those are people that saw me on YouTube. They know me from YouTube, and they got a chance to interact with me one-on-one, and it didn't cost them anything other than the fact that they attended the event. Also, there were matchmaking sessions there with the Corps of Engineers, with the Air Force, with the Army. I mean, if you notice in that room and the pictures, there was probably at least, I would say, 2 to 3 dozen different vendors in that particular room at that event. And so again, you couldn't have gotten that opportunity to be able to talk to all those people in, say, a speed dating type format if you had, other than being at one of those types of events. So again, how do you recognize there's a picture of the room right there in the background? That's the rule I was talking about. Look at all those desks set up and all those people. And at some point, there were more people or administrators on the government side than there were participants. That's one of our YouTube persons as well. They got a chance to meet one-on-one. These are some guys newly getting into the industry. They have an engineering business. So, where do you go to find the events at? There's a couple places you recommend. Even right here on FBO, you'll see, and it's not showing the screen. Let me move this over, move my big head over on the screen. On FBO, right on FBO, you'll see small business events, and you can click right here on FBO to search for respective small business events. And as you'll see, coming up on the list, you'll see right there, Coast Guard, small business event for Army Corps of Engineers in Buffalo. You'll see Department of Labor outreach session. And the particular Hub Zone event I went to was also partnered with the EPA. So the EPA was there. And they talked about that their decision makers were actually in the office. To be honest with you, I've heard of events where people are going to be buying services at the actual event. Look at this, National Cemetery, Health and Human Services. Again, all this information is right at your fingertips. Like we talked about in another particular session on YouTube is the Drive 8A, which is where they're pushing for 8As to participate. The Hub Zone Conference that's coming up this year, which is a national conference, again, in Virginia. There's events wherever you at, whatever region of the country you're in, they've got events to satisfy your niche, your industry, your particular skill set, your talents, your interests. There's events for everything. So again, I want to say, this for me has been a way always in the last 12 years of my participating in the government marketplace, has been a way for me to meet SBA award winners, to meet contracting officials, to meet the SBA administrative people, to meet administrative people, procurement officers, contracting officers at the highest levels, program managers. This has been a way for me always, year in and year out, for me to break into respective industries. And again, get a chance to see, match a name to a face. Because, a lot of times we're on the phone, we're calling people, we're talking to them. But then when they actually see you, they know who you are. And they go, oh, okay, now I know who you are. And after seeing a couple times, that gives them the confidence, the trust to be able to maybe potentially give you a chance, give you a seed project to allow you to break into that agency. So again, I can't stress the importance enough of events. And I can't say that, I can't say that people who are sitting home and not sitting here and watching this stuff go by and complaining about not getting the results, you've got to take some inventory of yourself and say, okay, what can I be doing differently? What should I be doing differently? And this is definitely one of the things that I recommend strongly and encourage for everyone out there to do. So again, as always, if you have anything that you want to send me, any suggestions, hit me up on Twitter, eCoffee, or like I said, if you may want to have me suggest a video, if you want to have me particularly participate in a particular conference or an event, or if you just want to know if I'm going to be in your town in some upcoming time in the near future, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm definitely going to be reading all the comments. I'm definitely going to be taking a look at what people are saying and taking those suggestions into consideration for how I'm going to be doing my schedule for the rest of the year. Okay, good luck. We are getting close to the end of the fiscal year. It's now June, and we're approaching July. And so you've only got 3 months left. We're in the last stretch before they're going to start spending the bulk of their money. So 50% or more of the dollars are going to be spent in the next upcoming 3 months. And I want to make sure that everyone out there has the highest potential chance and possibility of getting a contract. Thank you so much.